right, here we go. There's the back. Bringing it up, that's not too bad. Okay, let's get that sound going so you can hear me. Alrighty, so what do we need to do? We need to grab this body, and we've got that body. We need to get in there and drill those holes. I've got the drill bit too. I've got black hardware. It's got Mr. Glynn's Cruel Mistress vintage telly pickups, brass saddles, bone nut. It's all good. Where the weed at? What's going on? Thank you for the follow. Good to see you. Welcome on in. Who? Okay, so that's that guy there. But that's to show you that copper-looking red cedar when it really gets polished up. It really looks copperish.
Come here, little guy. Come here, my little boy. Hello. Hello. How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? Hey? Good boy.
To go on top. So that's what we did there. That back's going to be sensational. That is so smooth. Very smooth. Ha! Absolutely. They are drums. They're percussion instruments as well as stringed instruments. They can be used. If you watch the old flamenco guys playing, the old Spanish guys, they're doing all that stuff. They're going tippa-tappa, tippa-tippa-dum, ring, 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 tippa-tappa, tippa-tappa, dum, ding, dong, dang. So it's all good. Right, here we go. There's the back. Bringing it up, that's not too bad. Okay, let's get that sound going so you can hear me. Alrighty, so what do we need to do? We need to grab this body, and we've got that body. We need to get in there and drill those holes. I've got the drill bit too. I've got black hardware. It's got Mr. Glynn's Cruel Mistress vintage telly pickups, brass saddles, bone nut. It's all good. Where the weed at? What's going on? Thank you for the follow. Good to see you. Welcome on in. Hello there. Welcome to the stream. How is everybody? Welcome to this weekend edition of the Guitar Show. My name's Manny. If you haven't seen us before, welcome on in. Terry, what's going on? Good to see you again. It's been a little while. I've been very busy with other stuff. Life is getting in the way, unfortunately. I haven't had much time for this stuff. We've got to continue working on this guy. You can see that addition of colour that we did last week, and that's looking really good now. I've got a good base down here to get some green through there. We're going to touch up. I've touched up the edges. I've fixed up a lot of those glue marks are gone now, nice and consistent. Even in there's a couple more just in there that I need to fix up. But I went and bought some more supplies. The neck looks really good. That neck colour is really good now. It's gone that chocolatey brown colour. Fronts like that. We've got to dress that guy as well. We won't be doing that today. What I want to do is get back to the body. We're also planning to build a base. So we're going to kick off the design work for the base build. I'm going to take you through what we need to do to get started. Who else have we got? Karen Day, what's going on? Whee! It's the weekend. Whee! It's lunch for me, dude. Well, I haven't eaten yet. 8 p.m. on Friday night for me. How did you spend your Friday night? My Friday night was at home. I cooked some steaks. I had a drink. Watched a little bit of TV. I'm not a big TV person, but I was just watching a little bit of a documentary. There was a World War II doco that has been remastered in colour, and I just wanted to check it out. It was pretty interesting. Read a little bit, played a lot of music. I did a lot of music, practicing my soloing and writing a couple little things, just stuff like that. Marky Mark in the house. What is going on? It's not easy being green. It's not. Yep. Karen's in the house. Karen Day, what is up? Are you being a good girl? Be a good girl. Stop being naughty. Naughty kid. So let's get back to this guy here. I want to just touch this guy up a little bit and get even out the colors where we need them. So we went, as you can see there, the bottom is black. It's a left-hander. The bottom is black. It looks burnt through there. I got that matte black stain looking burnt through there. We've got a little bit of timber at the top. What I need to do now is match that black around the back there. You can see I've taken it across there, and I'm going to sweep that down through there as well and get that evened out. So that's what we're going to do first. And then we're going to work on potentially getting some green on there, right? This is going to be interesting. Looks so good. Thank you. It looks okay. It's getting there. It's just the canvas at the moment. We've got a lot of a great Friday. Karen, it was interesting. You know, what do? I've got to make up. I've got to fill my time somehow. Good. I don't know that word. Ha ha ha. Very funny. Most people are in the US. That's right. Most people are. No, I'm the only one down under at this stage. Where are you? Luthier, where are you? Are you in Europe or are you in? It's 8 p.m. You must be in the States as well. Got to burn while you build. You do that. Burn, baby, burn. You're in Utah. Oh yeah, that's right. You did mention that. Salt Lake City. Wow, the big one. Okay, cool. All good. Let's get on to this. I'm going to quickly flip down to here. But we're still waiting for a new camera to arrive. Hopefully this one is settled down a little bit and it's not being too nasty. I've got some, look. Terry, glue supplies, new mahogany, more color, more supplies, more things. Pop this guy, I'm going to hang this guy up. I'm going to grab some gloves. We're going to get this guy stained around the back and the sides as well. You can cross it off your list. Excellent. I am in Perth. Who is that? Sorry, I've got to put my glasses on so I can read that. Who have we got? Page Love 7. What is going on? Welcome to the stream. Excellent. Glad you can join us. A Perth person. Excellent. You be 3 hours behind, which makes it there 7:30 in the morning. Or so. 7:30, 8 a.m., something like that. Okay. So we got that burnt look there. We've got to carry that across to the back here now and to this edge here. So I'm going to start at the horn and work my way down. It's actually got to come right through to this area here. So we've got to go over this bump, black, all the way up there. We'll do that first. Sort of ends about there. I'm going to start around there. Let's get the black out. Here's the black. Let's get that other glove on before I make an absolute mess. Carthage and Adam. Oh, okay, cool. Independence is a great town. I've never been. Maybe one day. My son looks like he's going to end up in Florida for a little while anyway. For 3 months at least, if not a year, but we'll see what happens. He's had a couple of offers, one West Coast, one East Coast. So we'll see how that goes. Looks like a scholarship, potentially NCAA for soccer. Post-grad, so he's looking at a master's program, but he's only there to play football. He's not really there to study. But if a master's program gets him into playing professional football, or soccer as you call it, so be it. Don't you think, Terry? We take what we can. Beggars can't be choosers. Well, he's not a beggar, but you know what I mean. Let me get some fresh cloth and cut some of that up. So we've got to go all the way around here, all the way around there, all in black up to halfway on the outside, and of course on the back. We've got to match that so as if it's been sitting in a fire. The fire's burnt it there. It's left that little branch there untouched. We've got moss growing through here as well. So we've got to get that all black so we've got the canvas, the dark canvas that Terry speaks of. Absolutely. Dana, what's going on? That's the way. Uh-huh, uh-huh. She likes it. Uh-huh, uh-huh. Yep, that's the one, Dana. He's got the guy in California has got massive connections to the MLS, and that doesn't mean automatically he should go there because the guy in Florida, he'll be playing with some ex-Brazilian Brazilian first division players from Brazil, and he's already been told he's going to be in the first team. So he's very excited about that too. So they want him. There's a bit of tug of war, but ultimately the decision is his. I don't care which way he goes. He's not there for the good time. He's there for the long haul. So I'm very proud of him. I'm very, very pleased with his decisions that he's making. He's using a level head. There goes that bloody camera again. Please forgive me for that camera. We're waiting on a new one to arrive. Leslie, what's going on? Okay, black it is. Let's get some black down here and happening. I always just pour a little bit in the lid there. It's a little bit more controllable. Feather the edges. Just rub them out so that they're not too harsh. Like that. You can see I've smudged that so it looks like it's a burst. It's not really a defined line. We don't want defined lines. We want it blending in. We'll need a couple of coats, of course. Black in there. You can still see that red through there. So we need to do a couple of coats, but that's the whole point. We're just going to darken that up. Good. Round the back to about halfway. Feather that. So we get that darkened up. Of course, the back's got to be done as well. That back one now sort of runs like that through there, about there. Just going to feather that and just give me a border so I know what to work with. And then I'm going to go over the top here nice and dark. So you can see how that matches up. It's sort of the continuity goes from here. So it's got to go a little bit deeper. It's got to go that way. It's all about here. I'm going to let that dry. I'm going to apply a second coat on it. Just feather those edges. Looking smoky. Smoke that up. Okay, so it looks like we've been torching that with a blowtorch. Just the effect. We're using the stain to gain that effect. Still a bit reddish. Let's let that dry. We'll give that another shot in a minute. Put this aside. Flick the camera over. We'll have a little chat while we wait back. Give it about a minute or two and we'll get back on with a second coat. What else? Let's catch up with the chat. Leslie's on there. How are you doing, Leslie? Good to see you. Be Bumstead, Mark's in the house as well. Good to see you as well. Are you going to darken up the back plate as well? The back plate. Oh, that's a good idea, Terry. That's a very good idea. I could leave it, but I won't. I will darken it up because we've got that guy there. Yes, we need to do that. Let's do that now. That's very good thinking. Up there for thinking, down there for dancing. That's our Terry. Fantastic work, I must add. Get that nice and dark. So it started like that. That's what she means. Because that guy's got to go in there, so we're going to darken that up. So see, it matches nicely. And we darken that guy up. See those edges as well. So we've got, that's going to match up. Even though it's a different wood, this is flamed red gum, like the front. It does fit in there nicely. What I can do is just touch up, use that in there in that position to touch up those edges. Get no white showing. How's that, Terry? That's not bad, is it? Rage is in the house. Rage, what is going on? No 12K, obviously, for you. Might be true. True to the colour. Let's get this guy all painted up in here black. So there's no ambiguity. Terry, what do you think? The green will go on top of the black. That's right. Ragey Rage. Yeah, a little bit early. We're going to give that a couple of coats. Let's go back to the front and to the sides, I should say, and get these sides done again and hit this with a second coat of black. So we start here and work our way around there. Nice and dark. Dark and dark and dark and dark. And we'll do the horns in here as well. We go all the way to about here. Ends about there. Like that. That's looking good. Coat 2. Looking good. Second coat there. Let's drop that. Do the back one more time. I leave this end a little bit redder just to show that the dark, it didn't burn as deep. You can't have it too striking. It's got to blend like a burst almost. It's almost like a burst, almost. It is a burst in essence, but I'm just feathering it a little bit heavier here to just take off some of that colour and to give us that effect that it's just fading away. And when that dries, you'll see there's a gradual fade from a black to sort of a grey red and then a bright red in here. Okay, and once we put the oil on there, that'll really make it pop. Okay, ignore that it's wet. I think we're done with the black here. Might need another coat on this guy. Yes, we do. Sort of match that. You can see that's chocolatey red. We need to go a bit darker there because it's right down in the bowels of that charcoal burnt area. So I'm going to give it a good thorough shawanking. There we go. Shellacking. Let that dry. I'm done with the black for the time being. I can touch up a couple of little things later. I need to get a brush in here and just dolly up a couple of little grains of goodness in here. A little bit of grain. I need to make sure it's captured. I also want to go in here and get these guys nice and black. I mean, I should probably do the inside of the cavity as well. Make sure there's no No pooling anywhere. We just feather that. Where is it? A little bit of pooling. We'll just rub that out. Okay, that's going to dry. Give that a minute or so. And then we might even do some colour. Terry, what do you say? Terry, I'm going to need your guidance here. Now, remember, if I do botch up the colour, I can sand it off. It's not a big deal, okay? Keep that in mind, guys and girls. Don't stress me out, in other words. Terry, I need your guidance, level-headed, no emotion, no emotional claptrap. I need you to be legit, straightforward, upfront, and factual. Do you understand? Do you understand, young lady? Yes, you do. I know you do. Okay, let's do it. Excellent. Tom, what is going on? Bloody camera's flicking again. Let me, yeah, we're just waiting for that new camera to come, so bear with me, guys. It's not great, but I know about it. I know it's annoying the crap out of you guys, but hang in there with me. What's going on there? Okay. Easel out, smock, palette, brushes. No risk. Dana, I like it. I like the attitude. I like the adjustment, the tonal adjustment. You're setting me straight. I'm going to put some fresh gloves on just to stop my hands putting grease marks and all over the work, and also to stop the work staining my hands. We're going to get the palette out. We're going to mix some green. We're going to smack some green on that black and see what we can. Now, Terry, let's talk about this. This is what I plan to do. So I'm going to get my green and my black out. I'm going to mix it to a very dark green. We're going to just dab that dark green very lightly all over the black, and then I'm going to hit it with the heat gun very lightly from a distance just to dry that up. It's only water-based, so it should go and dry up. Then I'm going to apply again, and we're going to try 2 or 3 variations of color. So I start dark, very, very lightly over it, get a mist of dark over that black, and then we can start lightening it up. Am I right? Terry, please convince me that I'm on the right track. I've got steel wool. I've got dab brushes. I can go very light. I've got fan brushes. Go even lighter. That's the plan. Sounds like a plan. Do we have a plan command? 000. I've got some pretty fine stuff. Yes. I've got some 0.000000000. Lots of zeros. A little dab will do you. That's it. A little dab will do me. So let's get our palette out and let's have a good, long, hard look at ourselves. I'm going to start with the back. Let that dry. Remember, I'm going to work it on the back. I'm going to work it just in that layer, about 1.5 inches, uneven, across there. And of course, I'm going to extend that to the bottom, go to about there, and then we'll worry about the front. So I'm going to dab that. This is still a little bit wet, so I'm going to just hit that with a heat gun, just a little bit. I'll get my heat gun out. We're going to need it anyway. I've got a palette here. Palette, where's my palette? There we go. Look at all those colours we've had here. So we've got all the greens we need. They're the kind of colours that I'm going to use as a reference. I'll flip it over that side. We're going to put some green, some dark green and some black in there and mix some of that up. I need your advice though. So you're going to have to talk to me. You're going to have to tell me. Okay, I've got this little fan and I'm just going to be very ever so lightly dabbing it on. Okay, I'm going to use this guy and ever so lightly just spray little clusters of colour. I'm going to work it that way and layer it that way. Am I right? Pink? What's going on? There is no pink. Let's get some green out. Green and black. Black. Are you with me on the black, Terry? More mahogany. Got heaps of mahogany. Crafty colour for a crafty painter. Let's get some green on there and we'll darken that up. Dark green, let's go. You're gonna guide me here, right? You're gonna guide me into this dark green. We're trying to go for that. We're trying to go for that green there. See that green there? That's the colour we're trying to get, right? That green there, that really dark, almost blacky green. So let's do that. That means we've got a bit of green, just a dab. To start with, I'm going to mix the colour first and see how we go. And as I said, if it goes to crap, we can sand it off. Deep forest green. There we go. Deep forest green. We're going to need a fair bit of black. There's almost an even amount of black. We're just going to mix those two first and get started. See what that looks like. Okay. Grab a swizzle. Swizzle away. Schwizzle till you schwizzle. Get that camera right down. You need to be able to see this colour, Terry. You've got to guide me here, girl. Very dark. It's almost black. You can hardly see any green. But you know what? You probably will see the green when it pops up on the... That's a deep forest green. Do you not agree? That's a very nice dark green. Do you like that? It's pretty much as deep as it gets. Now, do you think I should start with this guy and just go very lightly like this? That's the kind of spread I want. Is that too fine? Okay, cool. Should I start very, very fine and layer it? That's the one. Okay, we're happy with the color. Tell me about the technique here. Do I go a bit heavier? Can you see that misty look? Is that what I'm looking for? Van Whalen, what's going on? Yes, you can always add more. Okay, I'm going to start with that. Okay, we're going to go very slowly and we're going to start doing it that way. I'm going to start up here and get this moss going around here, around the edges, and see what that looks like when it dries as well. So I've got a bit of a dollop on there, nice and thick. Take some of it off. Here we go. You can barely see it. It's very, very dark. You see that greeny tinge? Starting to get a bit of a greeny tinge there. Yeah, yep, I know. I'm not overdoing it. I'm just putting on very sparse layers. And that's why I haven't added any more color. I'm just using that little swab that I had. Just going to give it a bit of growth here. You can see I've sort of gone up and around. Let me show you. There's a couple of little high, thick spots through there because moss tends to grow like, doesn't grow as one big lump of, like you've just poured jelly on there. It does grow in a direction. So I'm going to leave it at that. We can add more later. I'm going to hit that with the gun now and dry that off because I want to see what that looks like when it's a little bit dry. Let me get my heat gun. Heat gun! Heat gun! Where is it? Where is it? How are you? Lisa's about to steal your phone. And your change. Your loose change. Let's plug this in and just give that a little bit of a dry. Get me my heat gun. Ooh. Very gently from a distance. I don't want to blow those droplets away. I want to dry them from a great height. From a great height. 200 bits from Dana. Dana, what are you doing? Thank you so much. This could take a while. I've got to hit the bottom of that too, so I'm going to mix some more up. Dries pretty quick, as you can see. Let that continue to dry, cool down. I'm going to just hit the sides now. I'm going to mix some more of this dark green, leave that as a reference. I know exactly how much to add. Now, Terry, use a 45-degree angle. Yeah, that's cool. I've been sort of wiggling it backwards and forwards, but I will use a 45-degree angle. Now, Terry, what I'm going to ask you is, we'll do the sides as well. When we do the sides, do you think I need to go over this area with the same green again? And in other words, another layer of the same color, but light. Maybe with this guy, maybe with a bit more of a spread. Just go very, very lightly with the edge, the tip, and feather that a little bit more. You tell me. I don't know these things. Yeah, Rage, we're only just starting, dude. You can't see the green. It looks like black. It's going to take a while. We've got to get this right. It's that dark that you cannot see it. It's that forest green that you cannot even see the green. It is green if you look at it in the light, From my perspective, on the camera though, you won't be able to see. You won't be able to see anything. That's almost black as well. I might have to add a little bit more green. It's too dark. It's way too dark. I overdid it with the black then. I'm just going to touch another little quarter squirt of green, just a touch on the side here. And I'm just going to add that as I need to get that colour right. Okay, that's getting green now. That's a dark green there. You can see the green. It's very dark. We're going for that deep forest green. You can see that. That's a good colour. I'm going to hit the edges now, Terry, the same way as I did the first time. Just hitting those edges, thickening it up along those edges. Okay. Believe it or not, there is a little change there. Believe it or not. Yep, I've got to dry it. I know. And I'm not going to do any more now until I dry that layer. Otherwise, I will start smudging it. So let's hit the heat on. Let's give that a bit of a... What I love about this dabbing effect is it leaves a very fine textured look. So it actually looks and it'll feel like there's a layer of moss or a layer of something over and oil over the whole lot, of course, to give it that evenness and that seal it all in. But it's going to look and feel a little bit different around the edges there. It's got that textural difference, right? You can see where I've dabbed it. The outline there. Okay, it's only foundational. We're only just starting. It's going to take a lot more than that to see if I can get it looking at least half decent. Okay, let's let that dry a little bit there. Not overcook it. We don't want to cook it too much. Let's see what these guys are up to. So I'm going to read what your advice is now. So we've got that guy. Needs another coat of black, I think. Do that in a little while. So you're doing well. Okay, so we're going to just layer it very slowly. Now, we've got two layers of there. We've got a basic profile, dark profile. Do we go a tint lighter? And when that dries, do we give it a very, very light tickle with a shade that's a little bit lighter? Or do we go half as light? Do we brighten it up right away, go to a lime and then go to a yellow? Or do we go to a grass green first, then a lime green, then a yellow? You tell me, Terry. We're going to put some brown in there too. We're going to put some grey and brown, especially around some of the where the pattern of the moss changes. I want to shadow line some of that and give it a little bit of dimensionality. Dark to light. I know that, Terry. I'm just asking, do you think it's better to go from that deep forest green to a lighter green or straight to a lime? I don't think we'll go too light. I think we'll just go a little shade lighter. A little shade lighter, about 10 or 15% lighter, 20% lighter, which means just adding a little bit more green to that mix. And we won't add yellow yet or white until we get to the light, the yellowy sort of highlights. And the yellow I want to just be on the tips of that on the roundness. I want the yellow just to be the reflective light, the sun bouncing off that green and making those edges look yellow. So I don't want to lighter green first, lighter green. Okay, so we're going to go slight lighter green first. Let's use the same color we've got here. That's pretty much dry, believe it or not. It is water-based, so it will dry pretty quickly. I mean, I'm taking my time here. I don't want to overdo it. But we'll try just a little very light touch of the lighter green now. And then we probably will leave it alone and maybe do a little bit on the front. Okay, we've got to do the edges as well. So let's get a bit more green, add it to this forest green here, which we can replicate later on the other side of the palette. I'm just going to pop a little bit of green in here and just mix some in, see if we can get that lighter without going too light. We don't want to go too light. We want to just take a little layer or two of lightness, add a little bit of lightness to it. I'm going to take a little smidgen. It's still pretty dark, but it's going to get greener to a grassy sort of, even darker than a grassy green. You can see that's getting a little bit lighter, not too much lighter, but I need to get it a little bit lighter than that so it's visible. It is starting to lighten up. Yeah, that's definitely a lighter green. So yeah, that's not as dark as that, just a shade lighter. Can you see the difference there, Terry? Am I doing it right? Is that too dark? Is that just a shade lighter? Should we go a little bit lighter? We can keep it to this color. Still dark. Not as green as, not as black though as the first coat. You tell me. It's pretty close, but it's a shade lighter. If only you could see that is just a shade lighter. It might need a little bit more. Just go a little bit more. You can always add more black to it. See if I can go. I don't want to go too dark. Okay, that's actually good. Yeah, that's greener now. That's still dark green, still ferny green. Like a pine forest, but it's not quite light. It's not quite black, but it's greener. See the difference between that and that? I think that's a good contrast. Yeah, okay. I might just try this and see how we go. I'll just mix the rest in there. Looks like I've got it right. And I'm going to dab some of this on there and see how we look. You can see that there. That is definitely lighter. See the difference? So, do you think that's too light? I think it's still dark. I can try it. I'm going to go very, very fine. This is dry now. Yeah, I can touch dry that. That's all dry. So there's nothing wet there. I can dab some of that on top. I need to be very, very... I'm going to just clean this off, get all the residue off the other colour off there. And wipe most of that off. There we go. Those bristles. There's nothing wet on those bristles. I've just wiped it all off. It's dry. Okay, let's go. Dab some of that on there like that. Test it on here. Thin it out a little bit. That's pretty good. Okay, let's give it a whack. Give it a whack-a-do. Do the edges as well while I'm here, then I'll hit it with a heat gun. I must say, get the right look and feel, I think. Okay, leave it at that. Dry that off. Of course, we have to repeat this again on the front, but that's why I'm testing it on the back, getting it right. I know it's time consuming. I know we have to layer it bit by bit. We're getting some texture in there now. We're getting some heaviness, some weight in certain parts. I'd hate to be a painter trying to paint moss on rocks. It must take them days to get it right. You couldn't do it in an hour. No way. Not unless you were Bob Ross. Or someone like Terry. That's a gun, a genius when it comes to paint. Okay. It's dry. Absolutely dry. What say you, Terry? Do we lighten it up and go again? I know, Dana. I know, Terry. He would have. I'm just kidding. He would have done it in like 3 minutes flat. Do we go light, a little bit lighter, and do another layer? Yep, another layer. All right, let's go. Let's get our green. Let's add some more green to that. Maybe a little bit of a dab of. We'll leave it on. Do we want to add just this green? It's still a lot lighter, so I think I should keep adding that without adding a different color at this stage. Don't you think, Terry? Don't you think, Terry? When I say "don't you think, Terry," I'm not telling you "don't you think, Terry." Don't you dare think. I'm saying "don't you think?" Question mark, Terry. I'm asking the question. I'm going to lighten this up some more. It's still pretty dark. That's a lot greener already, but it's still a bit dark. Do I add a little bit of yellow in here, just a tad? What do you think, Terry? Maybe I need to just add more green. It is quite a substantially different shade, so I think I should keep adding more green. No, I'm not leaving it plain. I'm going to mix it in, but I'm going to do it last because I want to know where the moss is sort of going halfway through it. So leave that till last. I'll do that. I'll touch that up later. I'm not going to do it now. I don't want it stuck in there while I'm painting over it. I don't want it to catch any pieces of paint and rip any of the paint off, or I'll do that last. That's a nicer green. Yeah, here we go. Now we're getting a different green. You can see that's lightening up now. Substantially different, but not to the point where it's ridiculously different. It's still a subtle change. It's still shades. Still dark, but it is shades. So you can see the difference there. How about we go with that one now, Terry? Do you want to go lighter, do you think, or do we go with that one? Better to go dark, I'd say. Yeah, I could do that now. Let's see. Let me fit that in. Okay, that's the way it goes. Let me get that out. You're right, I should do it now. I'm just going to pretty much go down that way, right through the middle. And I can... Just hit that. Like that. Give it a little bit of a vibe. You can actually see that green, so it's good. Out of there. I don't want it in there while I'm doing the rest. I will do the other one now. Okay. Now it's starting to show up a little bit greenier, right? We're getting a bit of green in there. Mav, what's going on? Okay, let's hit the sides. Hit the sides, hit the sides, hit that side. Hit that side. yeah, it is a lot greener. It's really good. It looks really good. And it is working, Terry. It is darker. It is dry enough for it to overlay without smudging the previous layer. Now I can see mist of green over mist of darker green. So it's coming along nicely. Let me hit that with a little bit of heat and just dry that off. I'm enjoying this. It's coming along nicely. All right, let's go a little bit lighter. Go a little bit lighter, Terry. Throw a touch of green in there. Get that a little bit greenier. Because this green itself is quite grassy and bright as it is. That's a lot of green. Mix that through. See how we go. Can you see that? All right, let's mix that in. See what we get. Oh, yeah, it's lighter, but it's not that light. It's going to mix in with that other green. It's very grassy now. This is our fourth iteration of green. Still working on those fern greens. We haven't even gone to the yellows yet. There we go. That's a nice lighter shade. Okay, it's going in the right direction. I'm glad. I didn't even have to use a street directory. I've got you guys, so that's the street directory. We're going the right way. Spread that out so we don't get too much paint on there. Very thin. Let's go with that one, eh? Let's do another layer. Just flip all that other stuff off that brush. Do a test. Now we're seeing green. You can see the green now. See that green? It's really starting to break up a little bit. that's looking good. I can see the difference now. I can see the variation. Starting to really add some depth. Okay, let's try that. I'm starting to get the hang of this, Terry. I'm telling you, I actually might even start enjoying it soon. God forbid. You can see the colour starting to shift now, right? There's a little bit of green there. Green base. It's getting thicker in other areas, and that's good. I want a little bit of contrast. I need that textural contrast. I need that colour brightness contrast as well. We've got to do this guy as well. We go a little bit lighter now, Terry. Keep on the lightness. Now we're going to have to start adding a little bit of yellow soon, because I think we're getting pretty close to the colour of the tube. But there's still a shade or so. There's still a shade or so off reaching that yet, but shift in there. I can see various. There's a little bit of mottled effect. It's going to work. It's going to work fine. Look at that. Fits in nicely. Works really well. Okay. All right. Let's get a little bit more green. So I'm still going to persist with the green alone because we've got enough. Look at that shade there. We're still a couple of shades, heaps lighter to go. So we're going to just add a bit more green, mix some more through, get it lighter, and go again. Oops, it's a lot there. That's okay. We can add a bit of darkness if we have to, as Terry says. Let's just take a little bit of that. Mix that in. Okay, it's still not as bright, but it's getting another shade lighter. So that's good too. You can see the shades changing there, getting a little bit lighter. When it dries, it just doesn't look green. It looks dark. It just goes dark. I might have to go a lot. I mean, I know it's subtle. I know it's subtle. I just probably want just results, and I'm not getting any results. So I'm being a bit of a doofus. Exclamation doofus, Dana. Okay, let's give that a go. That brush clean, white at least to the point where there's no wet paint. Starting to see that green in there now. It will get there. It will. Get those greens in there. Welcome to the Guitar Show, where we mix art with guitar making. We do it like a blind man with a blindfold and one arm tied behind his back. God knows what I'm doing. Let's try that. Oh, get this done. Heat gun. I'm going to go finer now. I'm going to go a lot thinner than that with the lighter colours because they just do stand out so much more. And I don't need thick dollops, too many thick dollops of that. See you, Rage. As long as you like it, Terry, I'm happy. See that colour variation. There's spots and stuff all over the place, but it's okay. We'll get there. All right, Terry, I think I'm going to, I don't know, go a little bit lighter and you think we might have to get some yellow out, don't you think, and go a little bit yellowy? Because that's the colour that's on there now. might still be able to add a little bit more green because it is still pretty bright. As if it's like adding yellow to it without adding yellow to it. Oh no, I think we're about there now. We're almost at the same colour. Let me just mix that through. Oh, it's lightening up a little bit. I might have to add a tab of yellow. Maybe not. I don't want too much of the same colour because then you'll get it overlapping and the effect will die. So I might go a little bit yellow now. Yeah, that looks about the colour of the tube. So I don't think I'm going to go any lighter than that. I like it better than slapping lime green paint on it. From the tube. Okay, let's do another layer of green from the tube. So I'm going to mix that in. In actual fact, I might just go over here and just mix in green without any colour variant, like black. Or at least minimise it. That's a lot brighter. Yeah, it's almost the same. That's good. I'll try this green here because that's a lot lighter. That's straight from the tube. See the two differences there? I could go that and I could go that. They're pretty much the same, almost the same. I might just go this one here. Oh, I'm so tempted to do another coat of that. I might do both. You know what? I might do both, Terry. I might go the darker one first and then top it off with a pure. The more layers the better, right? Just very, very finely. Let's grab this guy. I've got smaller brushes too. I need to get the smaller brushes, I think. No, the bigger one's probably better. It's sparse, a little bit more sparse. So off the brush. Lots of layers. Yes, another layer of green from the tube. Okay, let's do another layer. Let's do this layer here. Okay. Kill that. That's nice and speckly. I like that. That's a good effect. I nailed it there, Terry. I didn't do too heavy. That's good. That looks good. It looks like it's getting a bit of depth now. What am I doing? I'm actually learning something. My God. I'm actually learning something. There's a little bit of layering going on there. Yep, indeed. Okay, I'm going to leave it there. That's another little layer of accents. That's what we want, right? Little accents. God knows what I'm doing. I have no idea what I'm doing. I feel lost. Actually, let's do the sides. Cool. All right, layers. As we call it, layers. Let's heat that up. Let's dry that up. It looks quite mossy now. You've got that dark variation starting to show through. The shadows everywhere. It's green, but it's not. There's no real bright accents yet. It's just a very cloudy looking, different black and green and brown sort of mixed together, which is probably what we're trying to achieve for a base. And then we can highlight it with the lighter stuff. I'm going to go the next color, which is pure green straight out of the tube, and that'll be the lightest green out of that tube, and then we have to start adding some other stuff to it. It's looking mossy. Yeah, well, that's the whole thing, to make it look like something's grown. Lichens or lichens are growing, like a piece of rock or wood that's been sitting in there for 1,000 years, and it's got all sorts of bacterial colonies growing on it and all sorts of diseases. No, I don't mean it like that, but you know what I mean. Ancient microbes growing all over it. It does give it that textured look. I mean, the light doesn't do it any. I'm going to hold it up and show you guys soon what it looks like once we do a little bit of color on the lighter color. It's almost dry. It doesn't take much. Like, there's barely. Why we're getting a nice quick drying period. We're going to hit it now with that green straight out of the tube, right? That's that guy there. That's straight out of the tube, no colour mixing there, no swatching, no switching, no swatching. All right, we're going to just mix this up. Nice and light. Yeah, that's really light. Can you see that? You can actually see those spots. That's really good. Lots of contrast, but subtle. Not too bad, not too aggressive. We're getting there. Let's do this. All right, do the edges. Nice. Man, it's coming along. I can't believe it. Terry, we're actually getting somewhere. What is going on, Terry? We're actually getting somewhere. Okay. Wow. Really starting to get some effect in there. Okay. Now, Terry, I'm in a conundrum. Do we go a green and we add a little bit of yellow? Do we touch a little tiny? Texas, have faith. It's going to be fine. Ha They will. They'll like it. I'm going to show him before I decide to sand it off on him. If he doesn't like it, this is his idea. So I'm trying to run with somebody else's idea. Now, Terry, we're going to add this green here. We're going to add a little bit of yellow. What do you say? Just a touch? What do you think? A little bit of yellow and build up more as you did with the green. Okay. We're going to just go very tiny amount of yellow in this big dollop of nice grassy green. Okay. Like right on the edge, a little tiny miniature drop of yellow. Where is my yellow? Do I even have yellow? I do have yellow. I used it the other day. I've got to find it. Quick, get out the lost emote. Oh, man. Yellow, yellow, where are you? Black. Red. Okay, it's here somewhere. I've got to find it. Give me a sec. I'll put some of this crap away. I gotta find the yellow. I gotta find the yellow. It's here somewhere. What did I do with the yellow? Terry, what did I do with the yellow? Pretty sure I had yellow. Where the freaking hell have I done with it? Damn, I might have to go and get yellow. We might have to leave the yellow and do the other side. Let dry before I do the other side because I want to make sure I'm getting the right thing. I can't find the yellow. It's not good, is it? Where are you, yellow? Blue. Aha! Found it! Yellow. Right, I'm going to put a little dab of yellow here just on the end. I'm going to take a very tiny amount of it with my swizzle stick. Down here. Tiny little bit of yellow. Mix it in. And get that green just a little bit limier. That hasn't changed at all. Okay, that's better. Not too much. Very subtle. Nice grassy green. A little bit on the yellow side. It's not even close to yellow. So it's just lightened it up ever so slightly. Terry says layers. Don't rush it. Layers. Let's layer that. Let's get some of that on there. Huh. Tread on it. No. Don't tread on it. That's right. Testing it on this guy here. Yeah, still looks green. It's not quite yellow. It's just a lighter, limier green. But again, it's not that different to the previous green. So we're going very, very gradual. Terry, we're going very gradual. Oh, yeah, that's good. Very gradual. We can see that it's really yellowing up now. But very, you don't need much. That's the point. You don't need much of this stuff. I'm actually taking a leaf out of Leslie's book and wiping some of that off as I apply. Off the brush, that is. Just add some of the. I'm getting a nice thin distribution, even distribution with no pooling or no dripping. That's pretty cool. That's very, very good. Let's go to the sides. Alrighty. Dry it up. Dry it up. Dry it up. Dry it up. Starting to get there. Starting to get there. See that? A bit more yellow now. Yes, Texas, that's right. I just want to get the process right. I remember exactly how many shades of what I did, and I'm going to do the same on the front. I just want to get it right on the back, so I'm going to get his okay before we proceed with the front. Because if he doesn't like it, I'll just strip the whole thing, paint it lime green, and then throw it at him. So here you go. Have it lime green. Paint it on with a brush, like a solid, big, ugly line. The texture is really good. That's one of the coolest things, Terry, is the texture. Guys and girls, if you can't see that, I'm going to pick that up and give you another look on the camera now. I'll have a little break. Give that another second. The texture's coming along nicely. Let's hold that up and show you what we look like on that side. So, it looks a bit blue with that light, but you can see we've got a mottled. It's hard to tell in that light, but are you getting what I'm? Are you seeing what I'm doing there? There's a slight. I mean, it looks green, but there are other accents in there. There's lighter greens, and the texture. It's starting to get a nice mossy texture, especially at the back there. See that? Yeah, look how rough it's getting. So there's a bit of. It looks like there's actual moss growing on it. That's the look I want to get. I want that sort of very much textured, like sand, like there's sand through there. You can actually get moss paint, where they have little tiny fibers of wood dust and other little, pieces of sponge and things to make it look like moss when you paint it on, say, a stone wall. But I've seen that and it doesn't come out that great. I think you're best just to build up layers rather than trying to. And I like the transition from the green to sort of black to sort of the red. It's a nice transition. I mean, it's a strange design, but that's what he wanted. So I'm going to try it and see how we go. Anyway. Now, let's keep going. A little bit more yellow. More yellow. And let's get back into it. Just a tad of yellow in here. And we add that little bit by bit to lighten that green up. Getting there. Very gradual. It doesn't look different to the previous layer, but I can tell you it is, because I can start seeing different speckles. There's about 4 different types of shades of green. Terry, tell me if I'm right. That's what we need to get, right? 4 or 5 different. The more shades you can see, the better, right? Because it looks like something that's, a 3D object, something with a bit of variety of. That's lighter. Still not lime, but it's not quite grassy. It's a little bit yellower, but not as lime as it can be, of course. Let's go. Yes, that's right. Terry, that's awesome. I'm glad I'm on the right track. Good. Getting that yellowy, and only in certain patches. I'm trying to sort of thin out the bright areas. I don't want it to be all bright. I want it to have rivers of brightness, like little veins of color variation. I'm trying to get an organic application. Otherwise, I can just take a brush or a spray can and spray it. I want it to look like it's alive. I want it to look like it's a thing and it's got a life and a thing of its own, a mind of its own, and it's grown on its own credit, on its own efforts. I'm getting the hang of it now, Terry. You'll be glad to know I'm getting the hang of it. Getting the hang of it. Just go with the flow, as they say. Go with the flow. Don't panic. Just go with the flow. Let it. Just shut your eyes and let it happen. Match it up. Looks pretty good. All right. Let's give that a dry. Of course, it goes darker when it dries. That's the whole point of going slow. I know what it's supposed to look like. It's supposed to look like Bob Ross did it. That's why. Doesn't look anything like it. No, it's yeah. Look, it's going to be textured. It's going to be bright. It's going to be green. And I'm going to make it as light as I have to, but not too light. Let's have a look at this fitted in there with it. There we go. Not bad. Just getting a bit of continuity down from that bump. There. Okay, a bit more yellow. Let's go. I got to have this yellow thing down pat, Terry. Ha! Leslie, you are funny. There is no Bob. There is no other Bob Ross, of course. Bob Ross is a legend. You know, I haven't watched much of Bob, but I started to recently, and he's just, what an amazing man that he was. What an awesome dude. Very, very, like a natural, you know. He's a guy that just sort of makes it happen. Oh, that's nice. Got that lightened up. That's really good. We're getting lighter, steadily lighter. Let's go. Another round. Just like Wim at the bar. Another round. I'll test it on here to make sure I get the distribution even. Cool. Yes, baby, that's what I'm talking about. I'm actually excited. This is working. cool. It's starting to really lime up now. We're getting a bit of dark lime skin. You know, the lime skins off the limes off the tree, the citrus. It's getting a bit limey on the. It's cool. Very cool. I'm enjoying it. It's great. You can start to see. We're getting a really lots of depth, lots of misty looking green, right? What would have been cool was to put the neck in and actually have the moss grow up to about, say, the 12th thread on the back of the neck. That would have looked cool. I still might do that. I'm not sure yet. I'm just getting a bit more. I'm getting some kooky ideas now in my silly head. You know what I mean, guys? Yellow. We're liming it up now. We're liming it up. Time to get some lime on there. I can see about 4 distinct different greens there and black underneath it. So I think it's time to go a bit lighter. Get 2 or 3 really light highlights in there. There we go. That's nice. And again, I apologize about that flickering camera. It's annoying the crap out of me as well. Sorry about that. There is another one on the way. We'll have it in the next week or so. We will change that. I would go with the stain, but not the texture up the neck. Yeah, no, that's right. The texture's the thing. You're right. It's a good point, Tom. The texture's the only thing that's going to ruin the feel of the neck. So it is a feel thing. So I think we'll stay away. The stain's like satin. It feels like glass. It's cool as because the wood is smooth as. So I'm going to give it an oil, maybe 3 coats, get a nice satin finish, give it a burnish. It'll be slick as, and then off we go. Not too much now. I'm just very, very. I'm limiting the amount of light color. I just want highlights now. So I can get some feedback from Buggerlug's boy. I showed him the stain body. He loves it. I showed him the neck. He absolutely loves it. He says it looks amazing. So far he's happy, which is good. I'm happy that he's happy. Don't forget the lid. It looks like lime rind, like I've dressed it in like a lemon peel. Light bulbs have been outlawed. So you live in the dark now, Terry. You have to light candles now. For the love of God, get some light bulbs. Turn them on. The world will survive. Trust me. Yeah, Texas, I get it. I agree 100%. It's very hard to match their vision, but he gave me the vision of the burnt wood and the red, and I did that, and he said, wow. So to me, this looks like I'm questioning, saying, is it good enough? Is it going to be good enough? I'll show him, and if he comes back with wow, I think we're on. I mean, it's really up to the beauty's in the eye of the beholder. So, it's really up to him to tell me that I'm on the right track, and he will. He's a good mate of mine. We work together in a day job. Um, he'll tell me. He won't hold back. He'll really let me have it in a nice way. But he'll say, "Look, dude, that's not working," and that's fine. That's what That's why I'm only doing one side to minimise the rework, if in fact I need to rework it. Let's get some yellow in here. Let's get some really bright lime. There we go. Now we're talking. We're really getting brighter now. We need to get some of that brightness in there now. Very, very sparsely. Um, we're almost there. Probably another, I don't know, 2 or 3 coats max, I'd say, before we I don't want to overdo it. There we go. We're getting some really good green in there now. Really, really starting to lime up now. The edges. It does darken up when it dries. So whilst it looks pretty, sometimes it looks really stark in contrast, and I've gone, oh no, there's too much there, or it's too bright. But then I dry it, and it really tones it right down. So we're doing okay. Okay, let's dry that. What I want to do is test this brush. Okay, it's a lot finer. I'm going to use this brush here, which only has half the amount of hair, and it's very, 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 very fine for the last couple of coats. So I'm going to go a little bit yellower still. Eventually, I'll put a very light dab of yellow through, and then I'm going to mix some silver and some grey or some purpley grey, and just give it a very fine misting of silver to get that sort of reflection of the light off that green. Um, Moss is sort of silvery green at times, so I'm going to try and play with that and see if I can get that. Extend the grip. Get a grip of yourself. Get a grip. Okay, let's go a bit yellower. Let's mix this guy right up and get really yellow and lime. Now we're talking lime, as in cocktail lime, green, melon lime. You can see that's really starting to lime up. And again, it's still not light enough to go ultra thin. It is light enough to go one more coat for this stuff. Very, very sparse. You can see it's a lot brighter. Very sparse to the edges. Just highlighting now. This will make the difference. I think as you get brighter, Terry, correct me if I'm wrong. You're the paint expert. I don't know anything about paint except I can paint a house with a roller and a brush. That's about as good as my painting is. But tell me, as I go lighter, I think it's all about sparse now and just highlighting rather than going as heavy-handed as, say, with the base colors. I think I'm getting it. Yep, exactly, Terry. And that's where I'm at now. Now I want more yellow with a touch of green. So I'm going to mix in a little bit of green with this yellow. Did I do this? I did do that. Let's try this. I'm just going to mix this in together like that. It's still pretty limey. I'm going to just go put this limey green on, and then I'll just work on yellow with a touch of green. That's still very close to what I just had there. I'll put some yellow in there. Mix that up. Just get that nice and limey, yellowy now, as you said, with a touch of green. It's really brightening that up now. It's a very, very bright yellowy green. Still green. But I'm going to go, yeah, now it's yellowing up. I'm going to just hit this with one more coat of this green, and then I'm going to go yellow with a touch of green. So that's pretty light. Okay, that's even lighter. It's starting to get yellowy green now. You can see that difference there. Okay, so it's starting to turn yellow as opposed to that green there. Okay, so I'm going to hit that with that, just very, very sparsely hit that with that. Just drench that. Take some off. Test it on my little baby guy. Still green. It's less yellow than I want it to be. Probably best just to go one more coat of this stuff and then hit it with yellow. I'm just going very, 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 just highlighting certain areas. Just give it that texture. I I am getting the hang of it, Terry. I'm getting the hang of it, Terry. What can I say? I'm actually getting the hang of something, Terry. Now we're going to go yellow with a touch of green, Terry. Okay, let's do a bit of yellow with a touch of green. I'm going to get a fresh palette. Let's go green. Sorry, let's go yellow. I'm going to wipe this stick. Take all that colour off there. Wipe that brush. Okay. Let's get some yellow on here. Let's get a touch of green on and see what we can come up with. Borrowed hips, what's going on? Peace Soup Sunrise, that's the one, man. Yellow. Wow. Touch of green. Terry, what do you reckon? Touch of green. Just a smidge. We're going to take a little percentage of that, not much. Look at that. Look at that beautiful, beautiful line. My God. Look at that green, Terry. Look at that. It's stunningly yellow green. It looks like a pine lime splice ice cream. Look at that. Celery. Bright celery. Not bad, huh? That's what we're talking about. You betcha. You betcha, lady. That's the one. That is a beautiful, beautiful lemon green, isn't it? Look at that. Stunning. Let's go. Let's go. I'm excited. Let's go. Very fine. Very light handed. Again, it will darken. As we dry it. Wow. Talk about coming to life. It's like added a layer of complexity, which is quite interesting. Yes, indeedy. Yes, indeedy. Now we're cooking with microwaves, Terry. Now we're cooking with microwaves. You know how this ends. Let's hit that with a gun. That should dry up a bit darker. I'll just hit the edges as well while I'm here. very interesting finish. Yeah, it's going a bit darker now that it's drying. Definitely textured. It looks really cool. The texture looks really cool. A little bit on the yellow side. What I might do is just quickly just hit that with a little bit of green. Just darken it over the top, just a touch. Only to take some of that yellow away. Just feather that out a little bit. Cool. Well, that's a start. Let's bring that up on the other camera. Alrighty, so let's have a look at that guy. So again, that's the front. We've got left-handed. So we've got the natural finish at the top. We've got that burnt look from the bottom. We've got that moss growing to the sides. Don't worry about the top there; it's uneven. But the color we got that mossy green. We've got a lot of texture. It's starting to break up. We probably need to just even that out a little bit more, but it's starting to look like, if I can get that close to you, you'll see it's starting to look like it's getting there slowly but surely. We've still got a little bit of work to do, but I'm going to let that sit for a little while now and let it dry properly and have a little look at that soon. But it's coming along. It's coming along. It's looking so good. Terry, I hope you're right. I hope you're not just saying it to make me feel better. I'm not 100% sure, but it's starting to come good. If I can kill a light. Hang on a second. Let me kill this light for a sec. You might be able to see. No, that's not going to help you. Maybe under this camera here. Okay. So yeah, we've got all that happening. Okay. Starting to come along now. And that shows you how dynamic that's looking. Now, I've left those edges deliberately like that because I want to have that dark 3D shadowy sort of, it didn't quite grow on the edge there. It's growing on the flats like a worn piece of wood with some moss through it. Okay, you can get a really true indication. It also helps that there is some grain on the front, like some tiger stripes. So I want it to grow like that, as if it's growing across that grain. It's on a lump of wood, right? So, yeah. So that's coming along, right? That's coming along. Okay, it's coming along. We're going to get there. A little bit of rest now. I'm pretty tired. I want to go on a break, but it's coming along, guys. And thank you so much for your advice. It's really made a difference. I'm learning so much here, and I think I'm at the point where I'm really, really, I really, really am enjoying this part of the build, which I dreaded. But that's looking really good, even with the matching piece in there. Okay, we've got the matching pieces growing along there. It's going to be seamless. It's going to be cool. So there you have it. All right. And that's going to do me for today. Thank you very much for being here. Leslie, you like that? Mav likes it. Everyone likes it. It's almost there. I know, Terry, it's almost there. Look, it's my first time. I've got a little bit of, I'm going to use that fine brush now. Sorry. So for the remaining colors, I'm going to use this guy, which is half the density. I need to get just some fine little dots now without clumps. I've got the textured clumps that I wanted. Now we just need those little fine, tiny little light single hairs. Just like that. I'll see if there's anyone else worth rating. Thank you, Mav. Karen Day, what is up? Karen, you could do a better job with all your little pyro pens. I know you could make moss from fire. Now, I'm just going to have a look and see if there's anyone worth rating. Let's go. It's probably late for you guys, but I'm going to do it anyway. Let's see who's on. Glowstick Willie is live at Willietown. I don't know if he's going to use Uma. He has Uma, but I'm not sure if she's ready and he got her to the playing level that he needs her to be to do Willietown. But I'm going to go to Willietown. Glowstick TV. Karen is amazing. Bloody oath she is. She's awesome. Karen, you are awesome. Don't you forget it. We love Karen. She's awesome. Raid Glowstick TV. Is that even going to work? Come on. I have to wait for this thing to do its thing. Let me have a look here. Here we go. Raid. I'm pressing enter. See if that works. Hopefully it works. Thanks for the stream, Manny. Have a great weekend. Dana, no. You have a great weekend. Guys and girls, that's me for today. Be good. Enjoy your weekend. I'm going to have a nice cup of tea now and maybe some lunch. And we'll see how we go. See you later, Kaz. Love your work. Terry, thank you very much. You are really helping me out a lot here. Sibley's in the house too with his puppies. God bless you. Good night to everyone. Absolutely. Guys, Monday, I'm back. 2 days' time. Give me a break. I'll see you then. We'll get more done. Until then, chill out. Did that raid work? Invalid username. I've spelt it wrong. Okay, I've really got to get this raid going because I want to do the right thing by them. I'll do it on my phone because it's quicker. Bear with me. No, it's not quicker. It's just as quick doing it this way. Spell it right this time. Enter. All right. I'm going to try. You try. Have a good weekend. Okay, guys, I'm out. See you on Monday. If it raids, it raids. If it doesn't, well, we tried. Manny from Guitar Show signing off. Have a great weekend. Be good. Be safe. Be happy. Bye for now.